It's a loop of many lifetimes, I suppose. And if you believe in multiple lives, I know I've been connected with water, and I've been able to read water, feel water, see the codes in water in other lifetimes. I'm 100% sure. So I now help people to heal with water. I help them to connect with the water inside. And through that connection, peel off all the memories that the water in your body holds. And people call it peel off an onion. I call it clear the undercurrent. And the undercurrent is the things in the ocean that pull you back into the ocean. That's exactly what the water in your body does. All the false memories, the false constructs, the traumas, the beliefs, the things you paid attention to but are not applicable anymore. It's all stored in the water. It has memory. So it stays, it's not only here in the brain. There's water in the brain as well. So in my philosophy, it's in the water.
There's just so much already to unpack, and I love it. And I love that you're bringing the kind of not only the when we say water, we often imagine the outside water, like the sea and the rivers and the lakes and the waterfalls and everything that's out there. But it's so true that we know that 90% of our body, but maybe not 90, but big part of what human mass is, it's water. And we know that that's why moon and tides actually have an impact on us, because again it's the water being pulled back and forth.
Yep.
We know that water is energy and everything vibrates in the different frequencies, and we know that even our teardrops can shape differently. The molecular structure of our teardrops changes depending on our emotions. So I love that we're going from the outside, from your incredible experience with the external water, with the rafting and kayaking and waterfalls and long distance swimming. But I love how you bring in the inner water. So could you tell me a little bit more about how we can then work with our inner water, how we can understand ourselves better and maybe tap into, what could be blocked and hidden and unresolved within us, and how working with water can help us then find a flow?
Water is consciousness. If we can accept that, we don't have to understand it, but water has a memory. And a lot of what I say has been scientifically proven, not always by the mainstream science, but that's always the debate going on. And then 30 years later, the mainstream also acknowledges it and accepted it, and then we would not have had to have cancer because all that's just the way it is. So a lot of it has been scientifically backed up. Water has a memory. Masaru Emoto is an important person who did groundbreaking research there. If you, I'm not going into all the research. Then you had Professor Hahnemann. He was the one who discovered that water has a memory. That's where homeopathy is based on. Then there's Veda Austin. She has proven that water is creative. It creates in ice images, the images that she's projecting on the water with telepathy, or that she puts underneath the water, and she puts it in a freezer, and the water just freezes the pattern of the image. So it is trying to communicate with us all the time, but it doesn't speak our language. Well, it does, but we doesn't speak. No, it tries to speak in our language, but it can't. It cannot form words like we can. But we can speak to the water. We knew how to do that when we were in our mom's womb. That was our communication channel. When we were 16 weeks old, our hearing started to evolve. And ever since, until we were born, we heard the water. And the water communicated to our mom, or the emotions of our mom to us, because we were connected through that thread. And then we were born, and we that was our way of communicating. It was the frequency language. So we did, but nothing happened. So very quickly, as a baby, we learned we need a facial expression, and we need sound. Otherwise, nobody responds because they don't hear us, they don't see us. And then later we learned words. And that is the more we learned, the more we disconnected from frequency language. And that is what I teach people, to go back to that, to go back to the womb, to go back to that communication, to connect with the water again, connect with the water inside, but also with the water in other people. Because that is how, in my vision, that is how all the communication goes. There is a water net. It's all around us. You don't see, well, I teach my clients to see it. And like 30% of the people do see it. They start see all the water molecules in front of their face. But our eyes switch off because we go crazy. We don't see it anymore. But if you know how to look and if you know where to look, you'll see it. Not everybody, and I only teach it one time during an event. So if people would practice, probably more than 30% would see it. But that is how it sends its communication. Our frequency is through the water in our body and our heart, but they communicate. And there's water in our heart because there's blood in our heart. And blood is water. It's just a different color. And it has some stuff inside, what water doesn't have. And that frequency travels over, I call it the worldwide water net. Instead of the worldwide internet, it's www. And I teach my people how to surf the worldwide net, but the water net. And you don't need a keyboard. You need intention, and you need to eliminate a lot of undercurrent. Yeah. And for me, that is where all the answers are. If there's something that you want awareness around, ask, connect with the water and send it over the net, and the answer will come back at some point. Sometimes immediately, sometimes for me when I swim in the water, sometimes just as an insight or as a download, but you'll get the answers.
And I love that what you're saying is kind of giving me the sense that we always have access to water. It doesn't only need to mean that we have to get in a shower, have to get in a hot tub, have to get in a river, be in the sea to be connected with water. That obviously we are water, and in the air around us there are molecules of water. So we are pretty much always surrounded and immersed and part of water. So if we learn to listen, and I think for us on this podcast, big theme is listening within. No matter what podcast episode, what conversation, what topic we explore, there always seems to be this theme of learn how to tune in into your own inner wisdom. And there could be different ways. We can talk about breath work, we can talk about grounding. But I love the fact that, water is such an essential part of who we are, and it can have wonderful, wonderful insights for us.
Yeah, definitely. You know what always fascinates me? I love these cartoon movies or any movie, fantasy movies, where you see water benders. Because I firmly believe they have existed in other lifetimes or other dimensions. And they grab the water from the air and they throw and they move and they direct it. So, and it's in every religion, water is very important. It's being used for baptizing. So that is when your name is being given. That is when you truly connect, according to religion. My belief is that the first two cells that are you, the egg and the sperm cell, already carry your water codes. And then they bless you with water. When they walk through the aisle they bless us with water. So all religions know about the power and the consciousness of water. They don't explain.
And it also got me thinking, yes, in, modern religions, there is power of water, but also in ancient religions or in, we can look at it a little bit more obscure sciences, a little bit more obscure practices. But even in very pragmatic ways of where do we drill a well, we still have people who know how to find a source of water, who are in tune with the energetic lines of the earth and who can sense where there is a depth of water. And still even today, even back in Czech Republic, where we would need to make a new well on the property, you would still get these people. It's a dying art now, but there's still people who can, with like two pieces, sticks of wood, be like, here, you drill here. We have technology that can confirm, but yet humans can sense it so well. So it's wonderful that, water seems to be, the more we start having this conversation, the more I'm having the realization that water is everywhere and it's part of everything, and it's such an important asset, not only to keep us alive, but it is like so interconnected with every aspect of our life, of our growth, of our professions. We just don't realize it. I think it's similar to our breath. We take it for granted. We're like, oh yeah, we're breathing, whatever. Oh, there's water, we need water, whatever. But once we start realizing it, there is so much power that we have within to heal, that we can tap into it.
Water is not only, we don't only need it to drink, it's the source of all life. Sunshine and water are extremely important elements, and they need one another to do the work. Water needs sunshine to adopt life force energy in the water. Water needs sunshine to create the first form of life, algae. If you leave water outside in the sunshine, after a week it starts to turn green. Algae starts to form, first form of life. That is where all our life started from. Um, so sunshine and water are also connected in creating the oxygen that we breathe. We need the plants, the earth, there to do it. But the photosynthesis, it's water and sunshine. And our body has the same process. We don't need we get the oxygen through the air, but in our body a similar process happens, and we need sunshine, but we block our eyes with sunglasses because here are the lenses to have the sunshine come in. We are not going outside. So the process of creating ionized water inside our body, because our body needs ionized water, only the H2 of the water can enter our cell membranes. So a cell membrane is closed off for a full water molecule. So if you're not going outside, you need to drink ionized water. I do it with a bottle like this, and I press a button, and it takes a while, but you see, it starts to add. It starts to add extra H2 to the water, so that my cells are also hydrated. So drinking 1.5, 2 liters a day, and you're always inside, still can mean your body is dehydrated. So so there's also the water and the sunshine again. They need each other to, and especially water needs sunshine to do its magic in our body, and in plants, and to create life. It's amazing. It's so fascinating.